We're
Alex.
Here.
Hi.
I'm curious about what it is with the Greek people and punctuality.
You can ask my wife. I told her we would start at 4:30.
Oh my God, he's throwing her under the bus. He's
home
throwing
at 6:30, and she said 9:30, and I said no, 6:30. She's like 9:30.
9:30.
Yeah. Why?
How does your wife letting you come home later have anything to do with?
Yeah, she wants you to come home later.
No, she knows I'm going to come home later.
No.
What the fuck does that have to do with being on time?
I'm always late. It's Greek time. We're a half hour late.
That's
So
why
what
I
is
said
it
it was
about Greek people?
4:30.
Why? Because I don't know, we have more important things to do than
Son of
other
a bitch.
important things.
The words you don't say out loud, Alex.
I know. Wow.
They eat dinner at like 9 in Greece, right?
Yes.
9, 10, 11. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every other country eats Greek at 9, and they have like a siesta in the middle of the day.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
They eat a very, very high sugar pastry breakfast, heavy lunch, and a crazy late dinner.
Did you do all of that today?
No, I haven't.
So then
gotten
why
a
are you
late
late?
dinner.
That sounds
Oh.
very American.
I had a great conversation with a gentleman who attends city council meetings. Who
You could have said, "Hey, man, I'm talking to a dude."
I could
Why
have.
didn't you just bring him along?
Next
Have that
time.
conversation here.
Next time we should have. Yeah, the guy's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'm not gonna name his name, but city's in for something.
Why? What do you mean?
You can't just change a name to a street without.
No, there's
going
going
to
to be a lawsuit
blowback.
coming. There's no way there's not a lawsuit coming.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So watch how much gummy bears you eat in front of the microphone.
Give the background on that one, Marky.
With Biden way,
Dude, what are you doing?
Purposely chewing.
sounds like a fucking squirrel trying to swim through peanut butter. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
That you want the background on Biden way? Okay, so the background on Biden way is somebody somewhere, and Alex probably knows more about this, but somebody somewhere made the suggestion that we should turn Spruce Street into Biden way. Alex and a bunch of residents and businesses that live on Spruce Street who were not asked about the change decided to go to city council last week.
The last 2 weeks.
The last 2 weeks, and then as far as I know, it was passed, and that was Monday. And do you want to bring us up to speed on everything else?
So this is basically the only, if not the fastest ordinance that's, I think, ever been passed in the history of passing ordinances, in my opinion. They normally, a resolution rather, not an ordinance. So there's normally 3 votes. The presentation comes with a vote. The second.
Holy shit, Alex! Are you teaching us civics?
I am.
No,
So-
no. Get to the point.
Well, all right. So there's
Get us there.
3 readings.
Yeah.
Countless people, at least that I know, have spoken in city council. I personally have spoken to almost everyone in city council, 4 out of 5, and, spoke my piece, and, they humored me and still voted 5-0, even though knowing a vast majority, I don't believe, wants to change it.
So how many people were at the meeting, the first meeting you went to, that were opposed to it?
Oh, practically everybody who was at the meeting. I mean, I'd say at least 10 to 15 people, maybe 12. Yeah, 10 to 12.
And
Now,
then
from
Monday
from what I watched on this past Tuesday,
or last Tuesday, yeah.
they probably had like 15, 16 people. 2 spoke for it, and everybody else was absurdly against it.
What's the argument for it?
Why?
No. The argument for like the people who spoke for it. What was
They're pro
what was-
Biden way.
Yeah.
What was their argument?
Oh, it's great to, honor the son of Scranton and all these things. And I mean, basically that's it. It's great to honor, a son of Scranton.
And were these people living on Spruce Street?
No.
Do they own a business in Spruce Street?
I don't believe so. No, definitely don't own a business on Spruce Street.
So it's a thing now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I like how like I'm defeated about it. We're just
one
like-
of the things that
I'm like, so you're saying there's no time left?
Yeah.
right. So one of the
terminal.
things that
It's terminal.
stood
Yeah.
out to me was a gentleman, an older gentleman who was, former military veteran, all that. And he brought up, I mean, in my opinion, it makes sense, but it will sound pretty controversial. So years ago during Vietnam, the House voted to fund, bringing people back from Vietnam, and it went to the Senate. And out of 100 senators, the vote was 99-1. And who voted no? Senior senator from Delaware.
Really?
Didn't know that.
Really?
Do you have an explosion button? Do we
Huh?
have a- do we have a-
Alexa, make an explosion noise.
This wasn't his first run for president, was it?
No. it was
No,
not.
no. Oh, okay. So you're young, right? For everybody who doesn't know, this is Liam. Liam is Liam is an indentured servant to Alex.
Mhm.
So I mean, you're a much younger generation. Like, how do you look at that? I mean, do you even give a shit?
So
Or are you like listening to us lunatics?
I'm listening to you lunatics, but I also understand it's something I care about more as I get older. It's something I used to like not reject, but it's like, oh, this is
The political
beyond
bullshit,
me.
or
yeah,
yeah.
that kind of thing. I was into it when I got into high school because of like civics and government class. It was cool to participate. But then it kind of got
Can you hold that thought for 1 second?
Yeah.
Because Alex, I don't know if Alex realizes we're on camera.
Yeah.
got him.
He thought he
right back to it.
He thought he was on the beaches of Greece.
Right back to it.
Yeah.
I gotta get my stomach tan.
These aren't those lights,
It's not gonna
Alex.
happen here.
All right. So another thing Greeks
Damn.
don't have is common sense.
Nope.
All right. Continue.
They got
Civics
beaches though.
or whatever you were saying. They taught
so I don't
civics
know.
in school.
Yeah, civics and government class, like sophomore. So
In high
yeah,
school.
in high school,
What
I
high
had this
school?
class.
We had that in New York too.
Honesdale High School. Well,
They don't teach that in our schools.
Wayne Highland School District, great school district.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that. So I had that class, civics and government, like the year it was 2015 or into 2016, like the year Trump took office. So that was a heavy class, and I had a good teacher who would let us kind of open up, have a conversation.
Like objective.
Yeah. That was like super useful. That kind of wanted to get me into debate club, but those kids kind of freaked me out, so stayed away from debate club.
What freaked you out about debate club?
The people. They were like the theater kids, but the aggressive ones. That'd be like
Oh, so the performance.
it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't debate. It was performance.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'll pass.
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But they were like formal about it too, because it was debate club.
Right.
Yeah, that's that.
So what did you like? What did you think about? I mean, you're in the throes of like a civics class, and what did you think about? Like, were you young enough or not give a shit enough to objectively be like, man, these people are crazy, and like
as a
everywhere.
It was a
Sophomore in high
crazy
school.
thing. Yeah, it was a crazy thing. In my mind, it was like, it's going to be one or the other, and I'll wake up tomorrow, it'll be all right. Because I was, like 15, I wasn't paying taxes or anything like that. But like, I understand that. I feel a little more entitled to
I
care
think
now.
He's still avoiding the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it really nice that your employer said that?
Yeah, that's really.
No, we pay all the taxes.
Yeah, that's more for him to worry
Okay.
about than for me.
All right, so keep going.
All right, so as I got older, so I moved here to Scranton 2 summers ago.
Right.
This was when
The summer right before the shit hit the fan.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I saw that, and I grew up in Honesdale, but I'd come to Scranton just to be here. I took lessons like Alucci music, so I remember the school. I remember things being downtown, like looking very different. I
Right.
don't know how things worked or anything like that, but that kind of thing. It seems that from my limited perspective, being 20 years old, things in Scranton in the last 5 years. I mean, discounting what happened 2 years ago. Maybe we're on the up and up. That I think we are. And to me, this is a place that like I want to stay.
Right.
I thought moving here, maybe I'd go in like 5 years, something like that, on to the next thing. But there are things that I see in the city, and in my personal life and work and all that, where I'm like, all right, I want to stay here and maybe be a part of these changes, or what happens here.
Mm.
I don't have a game plan for that yet. Exactly, the other things I want to focus on, but I unfortunately I got dragged in. Now I care. I feel the same way about work. Yeah.
The
That's
fucking
it.
Greeks get you,
So-
don't they?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's like, what's that smell? Oh, I'm never
the
leaving.
thing, like,
I'm
I feel
training
like-
them to open a diner.
no, yeah, right, or a construction firm. The thing about I feel like with my generation is they worry about politics that are like above their head, or like it's good to be aware of these things happening around the world. But for me, it's like I realized if I work on like my four walls, what's around me, not my four walls, but like Scranton, my city,
Right.
I can actuate a change and like see that happen. And then I'm not saying politics is my thing, but I can move on to the next bigger project, the next bigger endeavor, starting something in my own hometown and seeing that change. This isn't my
Sorry,
hometown.
I was just
No, it
moving
is.
Alex's fucking 3-pound bag of gummy bears away from his microphone.
That's the 2 pound now.
So what do you? So you thought this was going to be like a foolish endeavor to come to Scranton, or now and then you were like,
or did it look like the opportunity of the closest bigger city
No, I came here from Connecticut, so
to Honesdale?
no, I went from Honesdale to Connecticut
Got it.
to finish out high school, do some college, and then came back here.
Got it.
you a settler?
I was a nomad. I was like, in my head, my plan after this, if I didn't care to stay or whatever, but I did. But like my plan that I had before coming here for whatever was next is I wanted to go to like Australia or somewhere, get like a work visa and just work 2 years somewhere like in a print shop doing work that I know how to do. Or even after that, or aside from that, doing 2 or a couple years here and then going to another state, somewhere new, see something new, work somewhere else. I'm here.
But you feel like this is the place where you're going to put down roots?
I think so. Not, if I'm not going to buy a home in Scranton, but, no, I mean, I would buy some, you're in Clark's is a little different, whatever.
The borough of Troop.
Yeah, somewhere with like lighter taxes, a little more rural. Like I love going to my friend, I have friends back in Honesdale, so I love going back to their place, like get that fresh air. They got land.
Do they give you shit? They're like, oh man, just living in a city, people treat you differently when you come back.
No, I don't get that city boy treatment.
So you're still smoking meth in the barn? All right, that's good. That's good. Keep traditions alive, Liam.
Yeah.
Keep them alive. Keep them alive.
It's good to see you're still the same person.
I didn't get into meth, but we roll our own tobacco, like we grow our own tobacco, that kind of thing.
It's not as dude, around here ain't as Scranton as you think it is. Some of it's Arkansas.
A little bit.
Where freedom reigns.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the Biden way thing?
I think I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea.
Why?
Just off the top of my head, it's, people who have businesses on that street have to change their websites. I know on my end of thing of printing, like we're gonna have a lot of work. And that's not a complaint. That's good for us. But as Alex said at city council, like this only works to benefit our company. Not our company, but our industry of printing. And for Alex to make a point or whatever, say like this doesn't need to happen. Like we don't want that. We don't want to have to redo everyone's, letterheads and business cards and all that. It's not just that. It's a lot more than that. But,
is there any offering of like a subsidy or something to cover the cost of it?
Allegedly, they will do their best to make sure everybody's,
Yeah, but shouldn't the provision be part of the deal?
Over the past year and a half, it's been act first, think later. I mean, you look at what happened with COVID.
So,
they shut down all the businesses and then 3 months later found a way to compensate them.
Right.
I mean, it's insanity.
From what I gather,
that's the ones who got compensated.
Right.
Yeah.
From what I gather, they're supposed to use some of the ARP money, not to be confused with AARP. And they're setting aside $3 million for small businesses in Scranton, which I think is fine. But of that $3 million, businesses will apply for a grant who are on Spruce Street, facilitated by one of the other nonprofits, to assist with the address change. In my mind, knowing how this city operates after being here almost 20 years, they'll probably get like a $2,500 grant, maybe $1,000. I don't know. Here's some peanuts, peasant. Go away.
I feel really crazy harping on it, but at the same time, it's still like another
it's just
coconut in the ass.
Yeah, it's another example of politicians. I can't think of a better way to say it other than tooting their own horns. It's them singing their own praises. It's a group of people who have not taken into account the money it will cost the city, the money it will cost businesses, the fact that he has not been in office long enough to honor him.
Residents.
And then the only benefit for it is for those 5 people that are on city council to have their name on a plaque, their name on something, and now they get to meet Joe Biden. So basically,
is that what it is?
We are paying for those 5 people to get to meet Joe Biden is what is happening.
Do you think so?
Oh, and his wife too. First lady was invited to the ceremony.
The first lady.
Yeah.
Do I logically think so? Yeah. Personal me.
That's
yes.
the only upside. Because here's the thing: you could have easily named something else.
Heritage
Trail, the Heritage Trail, that part of the expressway. There's a lot of things. You know what you could have done? You could have renamed City Hall. You could have
Right.
renamed the City Council chambers the Joe Biden chambers.
Courthouse
But they won't do
Square.
that because that would cost them money.
Courthouse Square. Oh wait,
Wait, why would it
we're
cost that?
fighting
Why would
with
it
the
cost them
county.
money?
Well, because they would have to change all of their signage.
Right.
They would have to change their,
They're stationary.
their stationary. But
Wow.
Oh, but
instead,
because
they're
it's not
forcing-
them,
Mhm.
Right. They're
that's
putting
okay.
it on
It's like,
everybody
okay,
else.
we want it. We all want to shit. We all want the photo op.
Yeah.
How do
Well,
we?
it's
How
no
do we
different-
get there where we don't have to pay
Can
for
I-
it?
can
It's
I
no
give
different
you-
than anything else that's happened in the past year and a half. It's
I wanna
we
give
want
you my
we want to
pitch.
stop COVID from going, from spreading all over the community. So you have to shut down your business.
Mhm.
I'm not shutting down mine, but you have to.
We can make cabinets. It's fine.
What's your pitch?
So, I did my homework, and I had a great conversation with a great friend who enlightened me. And then I actually made a phone call about this and wasn't met with any pushback. So, you really want to honor Joe Biden. Why stop at 6 blocks? That's small potatoes. 6 blocks is nothing. Okay? It's short-sighted. If you want to honor Joe Biden, here's what you do. The Lackawanna Heritage Trail. Mr. Amtrak, Mr. Trailblazer, okay, unifying the split valley because the Democratic Party is kind of split up and down the valley, just saying. From Taylor to Carbondale, the President Joseph R. Biden Jr. Heritage Trail. And not only will we follow as we walk through the trail, his rise from Scranton through the years to the White House, not once but twice, but we will also be able to walk out on the Parker Trailhead and be 2 blocks away from Joseph Biden's childhood home.
By the grace of God.
Speaking of,
How long is that trail?
By the power of
like
grace.
30 I think it's like 30 something miles.
So if we devote 1 hour for his life, we're still missing like 27 miles that he lived in.
Mhm. Yeah.
Or 1 mile per year that he spent here.
Mhm.
Yeah. We're still missing a lot. Yeah. But
Well, so speaking of Joe Biden's ascent from, the beginning to the end, I think that we should quickly rehash a fun little video that you found earlier of just some really
Oh, are you sure?
100%.
Are you sure?
100%.
I don't know what
You
you're
really
talking
think
about.
we
but
should
I
do
wanna
this?
know.
I think that we should go through a couple of notable quotes over the political career of President Joseph Biden and hear a little bit more about the man that Scranton wants to honor by forcing all of these businesses to change their address in honor of his name.
Can I make 2 requests? I don't know if it's compilation.
It's a
but 2
compilation.
okay. There's the one about poor kids.
Oh, no.
That
Liam,
one.
you just wait,
That
buddy.
Buckle up.
You just
what about,
wait.
What about Super Predators?
You just wait.
Okay.
Buckle
You just
up.
wait.
All right.
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more big shots.
Young black entrepreneurs are just as capable of succeeding given the chance as white entrepreneurs are. But they don't have lawyers. They don't have accountants. But they have great ideas. We should challenge these students.
Wait.
We should challenge students.
Liam, why are you laughing? I'm just wondering. All right, we keep going. Keep going. Have you ever heard any of these?
That one I haven't heard.
Okay.
But it
Can we-
reminds me of
hold on.
another similar
Turn
one.
it up a little bit more and go back to the beginning.
Okay. Are you sure?
all the way.
I missed it.
You
I'm
did not hear the
ADD.
first one. Turn it up. I mean, really put it in our ears.
No, I assume what that sensor was.
Yep.
Okay.
Don't assume, Liam.
Nope.
Never assume. When you make an assumption, you make an asset of you and umption.
You and me. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Got him.
Let the adults talk.
You've been waiting.
We already have a
Hold on.
nigger mayor. We don't need any more big shots.
Young black entrepreneurs are just as capable of succeeding given the chance as white entrepreneurs are. But they don't have lawyers. They don't have accountants. But they have great ideas.
All right. So in that statement, right, and correct me if I'm wrong, did you hear that as saying is that black entrepreneurs don't have lawyers or accountants? They're not capable of doing that? Is that how you heard that?
I believe I did.
Okay, you heard it that way? I mean,
That's-
so the implication is, or the thought is that they can't start businesses because they can't afford lawyers and accountants.
No, but if they have a great idea, that's
Yeah.
that's something.
Great
else.
ideas should
Great.
be the thing that lets them just
Yeah.
open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Caesar had great ideas.
Yeah. He ended up well.
Mm-hmm.
We should challenge these students. We should challenge students in these schools to have advanced placement programs in these schools. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Okay, so that comment,
Yeah,
right?
that one.
If I understand it, it says poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. So the two things in that is he's comparing everyone else to white kids.
He's assuming a correlation of poverty too.
Yeah, no, he's assuming a correlation between race and white kids.
That's
basically what he's saying is everyone who isn't white are just as bright, as talented as white kids. Like we didn't know that already.
right.
Okay.
Wealthy kids, black kids, even call centers, which rushed overseas in the hundreds of thousands. How many times you get the call? I'd like to talk to you about your credit card.
You are running in Democrat.
I think there's an argument to be said that he's now doing voices, right? On that one. I mean, that sounded a little bit okay.
Primaries against Southerners like Mark Warner and John Edwards.
Better than anybody else. And you don't know my state. My state was a slave state. My state is a border state. My state is the 8th largest black population in the country. My state is anything from a northeast liberal state.
Okay. Is he, first of all, wow. But second of all, is he talking about Delaware or Pennsylvania?
I'm gonna say Delaware.
No.
The state that he represents.
His home is Pennsylvania.
I mean,
There's
I don't know.
no way Delaware has
The
is
eighth largest population of minorities.
Florida, Texas,
Delaware compared to California.
Pennsylvania, Michigan, California.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Okay.
Yeah, Mississippi, Tennessee.
Okay. All right.
The Carolinas, like Georgia.
Yeah. Okay.
That's insanity.
Okay.
Detroit found out they didn't have, when all the exodus, they didn't have people when the city got back on its feet who could literally turn on the street lights, run the water system. So we hired some folks to go into the neighborhoods. They picked 58 women, turns out, from the hood.
You cannot go.
From the hood.
Did you ever hear that? Did you ever hear that?
I have not heard that
No,
one.
neither.
Oh, you didn't hear that one? Okay.
that's
Okay, that's a new one, right?
That's a new one. Is that like recent? That's got to be recent.
No.
No?
No, it's recent in like the last, it's not like in the last year and a half.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
what I was
In the
thinking.
last year and a half, if it's not on a teleprompter, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Mhm.
To a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts, unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
When you turn on the stations,
He's not.
sit on one station for 2 hours. 2 to 3 out of 5 have mixed race couples in them. That's not by accident. They're selling soap, man.
They're selling.
Soap.
Selling soap.
They're selling soap. By putting mixed race couples on television on 3 out of 5 of the 2 hour blocks that he's talking about, he's telling you that they're selling you bullshit. Okay.
Not a joke.
No, he's not
Remember
kidding.
old Pat Caddell used to say, you want to know what's happening in American culture? Watch advertising.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community.
So the black community is not diverse at all.
Zero.
Zero diversity.
They all come
Minimal
from
diversity.
one place.
Yeah. Okay.
Major crime bill that's come out of this
This one's my favorite. I want
Congress
to back it up like a
has had the
second.
name.
The community is an incredibly diverse community.
Okay.
Major crime bill that's come out of this Congress has had the name Joe Biden on that bill. We do everything but hang people for jaywalking in this bill. He said
The implication is
Oh my god.
that you will be arrested for everything
And we
besides jaywalking.
will hang you.
Yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
you're past curfew or the noise ordinance? Bullet in the head. Okay.
First 100 days, he's going to let the big banks once again write their own rules. Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains.
Oh, no one knew what to do there. What are we? Strange reaction from the audience.
Did I just watch that?
Yeah, that's real.
Blinders have been taken off.
Blinders have been taken off.
They've all of a sudden seen a hell of a lot clearer. They're seeing, geez, the reason I was able to stay sequestered in my home is because some black woman was able to stack the grocery shelf.
African American?
Just so you know, that is from right before the election.
Okay.
Oh, he's wearing a mask.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
great.
I can see it. You can't.
Yeah, this is him talking about Barack Obama.
His boy.
Articulate and bright and clean and a nice looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
Somalis and
Would you, when you went to school, right? Would that be okay to talk about people like that?
Well,
I mean,
I went
when-
to Wayne Highland School District, so, but if I went to school somewhere else, yeah.
It's great.
Great school.
Scranton,
wait.
yeah.
made my city of Wilmington, Delaware, in a smaller scale. It's a large, very identifiable Somali community. I might add, if you ever come to the train station with me, you'll notice that I have great relationships with them because there's an awful lot of driving cabs.
He's implying that he uses a train.
And a cab.
All right. So, all right.
Somali cab.
It is funny. It is funny.
It's sad.
It is pretty funny.
It's sad.
It is funny when you look at it this way, in a humorous way. But I think the concern is that many of those comments would be comments that, if any or I, at anybody in this room, people have already been canceled for it. People have already been led asunder
The shoe
for
on the
it.
other foot.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then when you take, we are all Americans, right? But we have all these 50 states are like 50 independent countries and then we have our towns and our cities, and we're supposed to be governing ourselves and doing what we got to do, and be responsible about how we do it, right? It seems to me that based off of that, in the culture the way it is right now, it seems pretty hypocritical to say we should name a street after a currently living president.
Agreed.
He hasn't had there's some that would argue that his mistakes are made in plain sight, but there's no real big gaffe yet.
Right.
There's no real. See, when you do this stuff to people who are still in office, you run the risk of them making a major mistake, and now you have to have that road there.
That's what I was saying. I mean, there's the guy, the Mello guy.
Robert Mello.
Robert Mello. But I joke, like, what if Bud Dwyer got a street named after him?
Bud Dwyer, the terrible thing about Bud Dwyer is that he was actually innocent.
What was he?
They were trying to investigate him for something.
Right.
I forget what it was. They claimed he stole money or something from the taxpayers, and then you come to find out he never did it.
But why would he turn a gun on himself in public television if he didn't do anything?
You have the whole machine coming at you, man. What are you going to do?
Other stuff.
What are you going to do? Like, you didn't do it. What are you going to do?
I don't want to deviate off the topic, but I do want to talk about getting suicided. So we have to get to that point.
Oh, all right. Well, I thought we were going to keep it light, Alex. Jesus Christ.
One thing I wanted to make a point of.
There's someone specific that may or may not have gotten suicided who is no longer with us.
Okay, you guys talk. I got to pee.
Good talk.
All right, get into it.
What do you got?
So like Alex, you had mentioned, and this is like something that's an issue internationally within our country. Like online, you see a lot of it. Just not personally, but it's coming to us personally with this issue of Biden Street, Biden Way, what have you. But it's businesses not wanting, and it's not speaking out. It's just businesses, they don't want to be publicly seen or heard saying, I don't think I'm 100% on board with this change. Because it's not saying, I support or I'm against Biden or I'm for or against this, but if they say the wrong thing, it's assumed that they're supporting.
So, Alex, from my understanding, I would have to guess and say 25 people came and spoke at city council over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there a single business owner or resident who lives on one of those blocks that was for it?
No.
That should tell you everything you need to know right there.
Mm-hmm. So I
you
went
have
around.
a council that is going completely against the will of the people.
The people. You are voted by the people. Okay, democracy. The democracy literally means, like in literal translation, demokratia. Okay, the control, the public control. The public is in control. Okay, you are a representative of this public, and you are not following their wishes. And none of this for me, like, again, I respect the office of the president, okay? It's not political. Businesses came to me, called me,
but they're gonna say it's political. They're gonna say like the reasons that we don't think it's a good idea.
95% of them are Democrats that I talk to. They're like, why? Isn't just the expressway enough? Didn't we learn from other people, other mistakes? I haven't said Robert Mello's name since I read it off the theater while I was at Lackawanna College, like 16 years ago or 15 years ago. Okay. I haven't heard that guy's name in the last 10 years, and at least 5 times a day now. Oh, Robert Mello. Yeah. We named, park in a theater, and, he brought millions to the area, but he still got arrested. Why are we taking the risk? Christopher Columbus, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, people got problems with everybody. You do. But the way you do this, the way you structure this, is to try to keep peace with people and represent your constituents.
But why is it seems to me that there's no perspective of what people have been through over the last year and a half.
Because they didn't go through it.
And they didn't, I feel like some of them didn't even come downtown or order takeout.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, not for nothing. My wife's a good cook. I'm a good cook. 5 out of 7 days we get takeout from different restaurants because I have to support them. They support me. I support them. 16th Ward, Osaka, Dunmore Sushi Thai.
Well, I don't want to make the assumption that they're not, walking into these places and supporting them. I don't know. Because I don't know.
Well,
neither do I.
There's a massive disconnect between politicians and business owners right now. Some people lost their jobs, but they were able to claim unemployment.
Right.
Some people were not. Some people are still claiming that unemployment because it's skyrocketed so high, and it's making it even more difficult for the restaurants who can't find workers. Even the restaurants that have risen their base pay, pre-tip, kitchen staff, the whole 9 yards, above the recommend. Everybody's saying it's because they don't treat them well. They've all raised their pay. People, there's restaurants. I've seen signs for restaurants: $500 sign-on bonus, $20 an hour. People still aren't doing it.
Dude, Tom Tell at Thirsties. Tommy was paying
They're just
kitchen
not doing
like $18 an hour.
Not doing it. But the big disconnect is you look at us as business owners. Okay, we lost everything.
Right.
Income. We're still paying bills. The whole 9 yards. Politicians, they never felt the sting of this. They got their paycheck every 2 weeks or every month.
They'll make the argument like, oh, but people called me and it was just terrible, like emotionally.
That they had to do their job.
Yeah. I just don't, like, that's the arguments that I hear.
Well, it's really simple. You know what they could have done? Not shut things down.
But then you have the argument like, well, you don't know science.
Prove it.
I mean, that's a good...
Prove it.
I hear you.
I can tell you how many businesses closed. You can't tell me how many lives that they think they saved. Prove it. Prove to me that all of those deaths are people that would not have died in 6 months anyways from something else. Prove to me that you saved one life. There's no proof. There's no proof of any life saved. And then you have coming out, was it today?
Yeah.
That the Department of Justice asked each of the 5 states, there was 5 states, they were asked to investigate the nursing home deaths and what happened there with the what was it, the resolution or whatever you want to call it?
It was March 16th or 17th,
that
2020.
they had to send COVID positive patients back into the nursing homes, and the states are refusing to do an internal investigation.
No, the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice has now said we are not going to investigate those to see if any criminality.
Although a year ago they were going to.
10 months ago they were, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
10. Not 7.
I mean, oh man, like, I need some more glaucoma medicine.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this? Like, what do you think? Because I mean, you're like a young buck, and
young buck.
You don't really, life really hasn't kicked you in the nuts to the degree that some of us has.
No, you guys. I've seen some things, but whatever. Every 20-year-old would say that. But I was on the other end of things like 2 years ago. We had this conversation, Mark.
Just say it.
You don't have to cry.
No, I'm not crying. The thing that I'm into very, very recently, very lately, is the stress on masks and closing down businesses, which I didn't really fully understand the economic impact of, when this started, which I do now. And, I was young and it wasn't my my field of
What do you
things,
mean
so.
when you were young? You were like,
I
no, we
was
should
like,
do this?
like a year ago.
You're like, yeah, we should do this?
So. I was like, it makes I saw, online like, oh, Australia, New Zealand closed down like 2 months earlier and they didn't have issues like this. And then
Australia's closing back down now.
It does close back
that's
down.
freaky as hell. And seeing that seeing in California, mask mandate is back, kind of doesn't feel good. That's how shit starts. But
well,
right
we gave an inch. They're going to continue to do it.
Exactly.
Therein lies the problem. Like last year was a test. It was a test.
Oh yeah,
and on how much control the government can take over our lives, our businesses, our individual liberties.
Songbird.
What?
Songbird.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Songbird. The movie, dude.
I didn't see the Songbird.
What is Songbird?
Well, from what I gather in the movie, they're on their 4th variant of the pandemic of whatever. You gotta watch the trailer. Can you play the trailer?
No, I don't think we can. I think there's a copyright there.
Yeah. So many.
It was like some Michael. That was a Michael Bay one, right?
Oh yeah. Songbird. Yeah. The one everybody got shit about for making. I mean, but the crazy thing to me about and I don't, and that's concerning too. It's like, what can you talk about?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like like when it starts to be like what is appropriate and what isn't appropriate that you can talk about. Like we used to live, this country was founded on free thought and disagreement, because as long as you guys, and as long as everybody can talk, the disagreement, hopefully progress comes out of that. You find a happy medium. You find a place where, everybody can every side loses, but no one loses all of it.
Right.
Question for you, because I don't know. This is a thing I'm curious about.
Question
like
for me?
Yeah, question for you, the adults in the room.
The student is now the teacher.
Did I miss out being born? Well, I was born before 9/11, but I was like 1. Did I miss out growing up before 9/11?
Yes.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah. I definitely
the world
think
changed significantly.
I see a
No. Do you mean pre 9/11, like when we didn't have all the cell phones and all the crazy
cell
shit,
phones,
or
you didn't
like
need
the
an ID to
experience
do
of
everything?
Patriot Act.
And that's the Patriot Act of these. How do you say, like, these violations of our constitutional rights that aren't rolled back?
Like,
And
do you care
happen.
about that?
I do. I see it happening. I think I see it happening now. Like, in a way, it's not the same thing, but the like the Patriot Act and these rules that are being put in place and the new normal, the new status quo, I don't think it's going to roll back, as a lot of it hasn't since 9/11.
It doesn't roll back.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, this is my generation's 9/11, not the same.
Dude, you're not being
Not the same
disrespectful
thing.
if you're trying to compare, viruses and buildings. I don't think they're the same.
It's not the same tragedy, but the aftermath, I think, is becoming similar. And like the reason why I'm like hesitating to be like, compare it is there's a lot of stigma around it. And that's what I was saying, like that issue of not wanting to speak out against naming a street Biden Street. Businesses worried about that. That's it's fucked up. Like, it's.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Like people are afraid to speak out about it.
Alex mentioned this in your city council address. You said these businesses are afraid to like speak out and say, I don't think this is a good idea, because then it's the fear, whatever, being associated with not advocating for Trump but advocating against Biden, which in turn suggests that you're advocating for Biden.
Is there this thought that like if you're against any Democrat idea, you're a psycho?
That's how it is
written, of course.
And Mike, like
do I have to say it again?
We're in Scranton.
Keep talking about how bad we Democrats are, and we will stop supporting your business. That is the highest ranking Democrat in Lackawanna County. And he said that. And rather than making him apologize or stepping down, the governor praised him on public television 2 days later. This is not rocket science.
I'm not trying to be naive. I'm not trying to be, even though I sound that way, but I mean, it's a hard pill to swallow for some people.
You want to know the God's honest truth why I didn't go? Because you and I talked about it that day. You want to know why I just didn't talk to you about it again and I didn't go? Because I had a great little speech written.
Go
to city council and object.
Yeah.
It was very simple. Down the road, I might need some funding for some more business projects. And if I go and tell them this is a bad idea, they wouldn't give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Spite.
This isn't rocket science.
But how do you, there's no defeating it. I mean, I always thought that like if you understood.
You need to have somebody with nothing to lose.
And that's it.
I'm torn.
That's it.
I got nothing.
It has to be somebody. Here's the thing. So I always say when it comes to running for political office or doing anything in the political realm, it's two things. It's skill set and opportunity. Okay, so you have to have the skill set. That's what you want.
Right.
Then you have to have the opportunity. There's a lot of people who would make great leaders, great politicians.
They're afraid.
On a local, county, state, national level, but they just don't have the opportunity. The opportunity is not there. The other group is the people that know I can't do this because it'll never happen. I think you said it the other day. The people who rise in political power are the people that aren't the brightest. They're not the smartest. They're not the most qualified. They're the people that are willing to do what the party tells them. That's Republican and Democrat. And that's just how it is. The leaders are not the people you want running. It's very rare that you have a good politician that does the right thing, isn't sold out to their party. And it's just the shame, and it's the downside of the two-party system. It's one side versus the other, where the actual reality is, and people need to kind of wake up and realize this. It's not R versus D. It's not right versus left. It's not Republican versus conservative. Republican versus Democrat, conservative versus liberal. That's not it. It is, there's a ruling class and then there's a serving class. That's it.
Yeah, but so in the serving class has allowed us to do what we do.
The ruling class is allowing us to do what we do. Yes.
Yeah.
I said this, to
And now they're
Alex.
deciding they don't want to let you do
Yeah.
all the
Well,
stuff
I mean,
that we
think
let
about
you
it,
do.
and to answer what you were saying, in reference to 9/11 and pre 9/11, you just go back to the early founding of this country. The whole idea of what it was meant to be. Okay, we started a war over a tax on tea and stamps.
Right.
Okay, that's literally how we responded. But then we gave a little. We gave a little. We gave a little. Every single time we gave a little was not during a good time. It was during a bad time. It was due to a war, some sort of conflict, economic, or health. That's it.
It's called the shock doctrine, I believe.
Yeah. Every time something changed, and it always changed for more government control.
And that's when people
And
are
it's never
receptive to
gone the
that
other
change.
way. People are always receptive because people respond out of fear.
Yeah, exactly.
When is the
Yeah.
next terrorist attack?
Tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Panic. And so that's the progress of it. And that's why taxes don't go down. They only ever go up. They go, in a zigzag up and down depending on who you have in office. But
Generally
the
trend
trajectory
upwards, yeah.
is trending up. You look at rights and abilities to be able to do what you want, live your life, in personal responsibility, things like that. It only becomes less and less. Nobody is going to come out, and no politician is going to come out and be like, you know what? I think I should have less power and you should have more. It's not going to happen ever in the history of ever.
It'll never happen in the history of ever. Do you have friends your age? Is your only friend Alex?
Oh no, I
he
can't
is
talk
friend.
about that. Yeah, I know a couple of people my age.
And like,
What do they think?
Yeah.
Most people my age, and and even in my social circle, they lean towards the left. But I think at least in my age group too, they're more open to approaching a single issue or situation and actually fundamentally trying to come up with a solution or a side instead of being like, oh, I'm left, I'll go with the left solution. That's
Right.
the older people, and it's like a mental,
The birds are
as
going
you get
this way. I'm going
older-
to go that way.
Exactly. But as you get older, there's like a crystallization, and it's like, oh, if I believe this one thing, it should be the same for the other. And that's something I feel positively towards, at least, with my generation, but I'm sure that changes as they get older.
I mean, is that more like a swing to reason, or is that more of a?
I can only speak for myself when it comes to that. I mean, I always considered myself a moderate liberal. I always considered myself somebody who wanted to be able to do what I wanted to do. The government shouldn't tell you how to live your life. And I was always told that meant you're a Democrat or a liberal. And then as I get a little bit older, I realized that probably sounds more like a libertarian,
Right.
From the same root but a different tree. And then for a while there, it almost seems like, oh, I don't want to be this over here, so I'm going to go to the right. Well, it's not even that. I mean, when you're talking about voting for the Republican or the Democrat, you're basically just choosing which slave master you want to have.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you're doing.
I agree.
Is you're choosing, which side of the plantation do you want to live on? And that's it. And the scary part is the generation, the reason things have changed so drastically in this post 9/11 world, in this new wave of the Democratic Party and liberalism is it's become less about I want to be able to do what I want to do, and it is now I want you to do what I want you to do. Like, it's crazy. It's less about I want to live my life my own way, and it is I want you to do this. And
As long as I don't infringe on anything of someone else.
No.
Yeah, like the First Amendment shit. Like,
It
as long
used
as
to
I
be
don't
that.
stop
Yeah,
you.
it used to be that. But now, I mean,
No, like the core of what you're saying is like I want to live my life where as long as I don't fuck with you.
no, what I'm
we're
saying is
good.
the new wave of liberalism used to be, I want to smoke pot, I'm going to smoke pot.
Right.
You're gay, you want to get married, doesn't matter. It says I want to be able to live my life my own way. Liberalism now in 2021 has become not so much what it used to be of I want to do things my way.
Yeah.
It is now I want you to do things my way because my way is the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Or I was told my way is the right way.
Right. And never have we seen this more highlighted than the past 18 months. You look at everything with COVID. There's this deadly virus. I'm scared of it. Everything is, a little scary. We're unsure of what's going on. We're watching the news, seeing what's happening. And so I want you to put on a mask and I want you to shut down your business. I'm not going to come to your business because I'm scared of COVID. It is, no, you should have to just shut down so that I feel safe at home. It's insanity. It is absolute insanity.
But do you think now that insanity is kind of like infecting, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, is this a new psychosis of this area, or is this like Like, is this like a symptom of the
again
top-down psychosis?
It's taken off. I think over the past 18 months, this whole idea has really taken off. But it's been slowly edging towards this for a very long time. But it's just like the trajectory of anything else. As you get further along that linear line and you continue going up, at some point you're going to skyrocket. The trajectory is going to just take off.
Yeah, it just seems like it's ramping up.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like, and again, just like with government and higher taxes or more control or more legislation, this isn't going anywhere. It's done. We have given the government the ability to just stop our lives. And now...
In every facet.
And now there's this reliance on all of this free money coming from the government. It's forced slavery.
It's going to be when, we have to pay that money back. That's when things get deep.
So
yeah.
On the topic of paying the money back, I had a conversation with someone, and their wife said to them, I don't want this child tax credit. And they're calling the IRS to give it back.
Have you seen this?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
People are getting like $400 to $500 a month per kid. Indefinitely.
Yes. Like
indefinitely.
And
why are they incentivizing people to have children?
No. It's
Cannon
not
fodder.
incentive. It's existing. Like if you have,
If I have a baby tomorrow, I can't get the money.
I'm not sure, but I know if you have a child, you get it.
Alex, if we're giving people this much amount of money every month, I think we should know these questions.
I know.
Like the answers to these questions.
I know.
Like,
I know.
Can I have a baby tomorrow?
Absolutely insane.
Is it after the kids are 12? Is it?
No, under a certain age from it's tiered 0 to, well, not
But why
0,
incentivize a certain age group?
For assistance.
Because that's in essence what it is. It's going to be a certain age group who have kids.
They need
majority.
assistance. Yeah.
Hear me out on this too, because this is crazy. Where this money's coming from somewhere. I think at this point I've pretty much given up on the idea that we have debt and we're going to have to pay it back.
Yeah.
Oh, we're past that.
I don't even know where we go from here.
The trillions.
But now is it real though?
But here's my question.
The money we owe the Decepticons? No.
Here's my question.
Prime.
I don't know how much we have spent on it, but the government on shutting things down, giving away free money, paying for free COVID vaccines, tests, all of the money the government has spent in the past year. But everybody's still paying for their own diabetes medication. People die from that in mass.
Their nitro pills for their hearts.
Chemo, cancer medication.
Yeah.
You're on your own.
Joe Biden's fucking thing was he was going to fucking cure cancer. They were calling it the fucking moonshot of cancer. Where the fuck is where the fuck is those people?
Yeah.
How many people fucking died because they missed their fucking chemo treatments or their radiation or their oncologist appointment? How many fucking people died because they couldn't go into a fucking hospital?
Probably not as many people that have died from the vaccine.
Can I make
insane.
a quick note? And again, pro, anti-Trump doesn't matter. But if you follow politics and what Trump has done bad, you must know what Trump has done good, and the right to try. Do we know what the right to try is?
It's non-FDA approved or non
first
whatever.
First president ever to do that.
Yeah, Trump was allowing you to take experimental vaccinations when your fucking life was on the line.
Take your life into your own hands.
Yeah, but the vaccine is not approved, and we're being told if you don't take it, we're going to come to your door. We're going to potentially, in the fall, shut down your business. You're not going to be allowed to go to other countries. You're not going to be allowed to get on airplanes. This is the direction this is going is scary.
Oh, so hold on to that. Also, wait, hold on. Hold your point. This is where we're going to go to Patreon. Just so you know. Because this is the shit that'll get us kicked off of other shit.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Why don't we take a break and go have a quick smoke, and then we'll come back and get in trouble.
All right, and everybody who wants to listen can listen. Hope you guys paid for it.
Good talk. Is this live?
What? No.